I have the power.
Wow, that is mighty impressive, sir. Look at that.
Better watch
Ooh.
out, I can turn you to dust.
Master, don't turn me to dust.
I might just do it for the hell of it.
Don't let the power go to your head. Don't let the power go to your head.
Well, I am a Titan.
Oh, this is true. This is true, sir.
I don't know. The only ones I got going against me are the Avengers, the Guardians.
Yeah, but they're inconstant.
Their asses with this. I'm gonna bitch slap them. Here you go.
Yeah,
I'll share some of the power.
Ooh,
Looks like a mini Titan.
like a boss. Oh boy. Wow.
He owned him like a boss.
Damn right. So let's get into it. We're talking Avengers Infinity War here. And
This has been time in the making.
this is 18 films. This is
It's been that many already?
yes, this is from the first Iron Man that came out in 2008 to Black Panther that came out in early 2018 here. 18 films worth of material, and we finally get to this main one, this one here, Avengers Infinity War. It's the long game, and it's a huge sort of payoff for so many things that have happened in this Marvel Cinematic Universe. And where do you want to start with Avengers Infinity War, sir?
Well, let's just say if you've seen all the previous Marvel films, like all the heroes that you've seen in there,
Yes.
like almost 98% of them are in this movie. At least
Ooh,
95.
There's a crap ton, yes.
That was one of the things I was worried about when we were getting to this film is like, how are they going to pitch everybody in there for screen time?
Well, not only how are they going to pitch it, but it's like, how is everyone going to fit in together?
I know.
You know what I mean? It was kind of just tough.
Yeah, I was like, before we were talking a few Marvel films before, I'm like, when they get to Infinity Wars, how are these characters going to react to one another?
I always was wondering that, or wondering what they were going to do or how they were going to go about it. Man, this is definitely one of those movies that I think is just one of those, like, bucket list movies that you're just like...
They really put the work into this film.
Oh my God, Jesus, yes, they put the work into it. My goodness, man. I mean, I will say this much. To enjoy this movie, you definitely needed to have seen the other Marvel movies. I mean, you can't go into this blind.
I don't think there's, so far out of all the Marvel movies, I don't think there's one that you can't miss without missing something that connects to this film.
No, I don't think so either. You definitely have to go into this definitely with a knowledge of all the characters and all the movies and all the information.
Infinity Stones, the main point.
Yes, you need to go in, basically knowing everything you need to know. You can't go into this fresh.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this film takes place 2 years after Civil War, and it takes place literally right after Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah, I was wondering what was going to happen when you saw that post-credit scene where you see the giant ship over Thor's ship. I'm like, this ain't going to end well.
It ain't going to end well, and of course, no spoilers, it doesn't end well. And basically, you know what? Look, it's such an interesting film because, again, all these people are in different places. You have a Tony who is somebody that, quite honestly, he has his friend Rhodey, he has the Avengers sort of headquarters, but no real Avengers.
Yeah.
No real Avengers.
The only thing that's keeping him going right now is the relationships that he's got in his life. Mainly, his woman in his life.
Mainly Pepper. And also, look, Steve Rogers and everybody, Captain America himself, all of them.
They're fugitives right now.
They're fugitives, they're on the run. And basically, everyone's split up. Everyone's split up, and
it's like when you see like a crystal explode in a million different pieces. They're all in different directions right now.
They're all in different directions, and basically everyone's going in multiple places. And you know what? It's interesting because you see all these people, and you see that that the only thing that could bring them together is this huge,
massive event
threat that Thanos is. And I mean, Thanos is portrayed by Josh Brolin,
aka the future Cable in Deadpool.
Future Cable in Deadpool 2. And my God, man, how much of a great job did this guy do?
And the thing is, you expect him to be this power-hungry tyrant. You actually see kind of a twisted logic of why he's doing this.
He's basically, for Thanos, his idea is basically he wants to balance the universe. There's somewhat of a flashback, again, I won't get into too much spoilers, that basically shows, look, his home world, and that people were starving and people were going hungry, and he is like, well, I have this idea. They didn't like the idea, and eventually his home world went to crap.
Basically, almost to extinction.
Almost to extinction. So basically, he is like, he wants to rid the world of half of its population.
Yeah. And it's just not, it's like, oh, it's all bad people, it's good people too.
Yeah, it's not,
it's sort of like an equalizer.
It's not like we're just getting rid of bad people. No, it's everybody, whoever it is, doesn't matter.
So you got 4 million of population, we're getting rid of half of that.
We're getting rid of half of that. That's it. That's who we're getting rid of. And again, it's really just sort of fascinating to me. And I will say this, I think all the actors do an amazing job in this movie. Everybody does.
I can't even think of a bad...
I can't even think of a bad performance, but the thing I like the most is just the interactions with the characters. We won't really say who is with who or what happens with these people, but I will say this much though, like, you always wondered how the Guardians were going to react to certain people, how Iron Man was going to react to certain people. you get that in this movie.
Yeah.
And it's glorious. It's goddamn glorious.
Doesn't even cover it. I mean, you even do get without saying any spoilers, you do get a surprise character, which nobody expected. He literally almost jumped out of his seat. I was like, oh my God!
I jumped out of my seat. Let me tell you something. That's a cameo I was never expecting. And again, won't spoil it for you guys, but we were literally, like, my jaw was on the floor.
Yeah,
my jaw was on the floor.
I felt like your whole intestine started to come out of your mouth, that you were just in shock.
I know, it doesn't coming out of my mouth. It was craziness. All the cameos, all the people, all the interactions, and all of, like, the cool action sequences in this movie. Man, the action was awesome. It was dynamic.
That and the power of literally every stone that he gets, you see new powers come out of it. I'm like, holy crap.
The fact that the person wielding all of these stones together has the most immense power you can ever possibly imagine.
I mean, so far the only beings who've been able to even hold an Infinity Stone were the Guardians, but they had to share the power.
Yeah,
I mean, even with Quill with his half celestial genes, it almost killed him.
Yeah, it almost killed him, and there's no way around it. I mean, I will say this though, that in this movie you do get death.
That's an understatement.
That's an understatement of a lifetime. Look, again, we won't spoil the death.
The shocking deaths.
The shocking deaths, the deaths that happen for the movie. But I will tell you something, man.
This was a game changer.
Well, not only game changer, I kind of had tears in my eyes. I'm not gonna lie.
Trust me, I had a few suspicions because we've been doing this for a while. We was like, oh, who's gonna die?
Yeah,
there's still like oh, it's gonna be the one of the main three characters. But when you find out that there was multiple deaths coming, I kind of figured there was gonna be multiple deaths because this is gonna be a big movie.
Yeah, this is a big movie. This is big.
When I found out how much death was in there, oh my God!
And let me tell you something. There's the ending. I will say this much: don't go into this movie thinking that it's the culmination of all of the films, because there is another chapter in this Avengers story. So this is not the last one. We're getting another one next year, and
this movie is basically a big question mark. I was like, what are they going to do now?
At the end of this film, there's moments where you're like, I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't know how they're gonna go about this.
They gave it their all, and
And you know what? Look, the thing about it is usually you and I, after we leave a movie, say, well, the characters could have done this, they could have done that. I'm telling you right now, I left that theater saying there's nothing else those characters could have done.
They're going up against a being who was already powerful before the stones.
Yes.
He's got the power of literally the entire universe in his hand.
There's nothing else they could have done. I swear.
Like he said, he could.
Yeah, like that.
You're
I mean,
gone. You're
gone, you're done. And again, like I said, they gave it their all. Again, I'm not going to really spoil what happens, but it is just immense what happens. This movie is basically like the biggest nerdgasm and geekgasm that I've ever had in my life, man.
There were some, when you get to some of the deaths, I won't say who it is, but you're just like, oh my god, that person's gone.
Like it just, you know, the thing about it for me, I don't know about you, it just washes over you. It washes over you because you think to yourself,
you don't
like,
even know if it's a temporary death, permanent death, or are they going to find a way to fix it?
You don't know. And I just really just loved everything about this movie. I mean, is there any sort of weak spots, I guess you could say, in this movie? If you had to say there's any weak spots?
Like you said, the performances were amazing. I mean, Josh Brolin,
dude,
he made Thanos not only powerful, but kind of sympathetic when you think about it, the reason why he was doing what he was doing.
You know, the thing for me, the best bad guys, the best ones, the best villains, they are the ones that have a reasoning behind what they're doing. They're not just evil for evil's sake. They are literally there for a reason and saying, this is why I'm doing it, and I'm justified in why I'm doing this. And he has it.
And you know what also I like? Because we had a previous character in Civil War. He manipulated him behind the screen, you know, behind the scenes, you know, like puppets. You know, he made them turn against each other. You know, he made them do the work for him. You know, him and, what's the guy from Civil War? Zero or...
Baron Zemo.
Baron Zemo. He didn't have to do... He literally did nothing other than manipulate. This is why Thanos is such a great villain.
Yes.
He's been doing this for over 18 films.
Yes.
Once you get him to the action, you find out how devastating a force he is.
Absolutely. And you know what? And also, I do want to say this. Look, ever since we saw that post-credit scene in the first Avengers film, where you see Thanos and everything, and this has been building. This has been anticipation for this character to come in, for this big movie. And I'm telling you, it doesn't disappoint.
I mean, that Avengers line where he's like, where the author is talking to him, it's like, Master, if you do this, we court death. Then you get that creepy ass smile he gives him, like,
yes,
this guy is literally going to become the master of death.
Yes, he is wanting to do that. And look, I mean, the thing about it is that this guy, he's not evil for evil's sake. He does have emotions. He does care about certain things and certain people. And
he's got power and belief in what he's doing.
He does. And those are the most
dangerous
and terrifying people. And he has it in spades. I will also say this. I think that, again, I think the music is great in this. I think the editing is great in this. I think the CGI, let me tell you something, Thanos, the one of the problems I had in Justice League,
just one of the few,
Steppenwolf in Justice League, man, that CGI sucked for that character. He wasn't believable. I couldn't believe it that he was in the same scene as those characters. With this, I believe it 110% that he's there with them.
He could have passed for an alien if he was walking right past us right now, I could believe that he was an alien.
That he was right there in front of us. And all of the CGI in the movie, it just felt like they knew this movie, if we don't get it right, boy, people are going to be disappointed. It's gonna.
You got to figure this is literally the pinnacle of the previous 18 movies of hard work.
Yes.
If they failed at this, it's gonna like virus into the other movies.
It's just gonna crumble. And they knew, look, that this is not the last one, that there's another Avengers after this, and they realize that, look, if this one doesn't deliver, then no one's gonna want to see the other one. And
they gotta pull a Hail Mary in the next one, because I don't know how they barely survived this one.
They barely survived it, but I'm telling you that I think, like I said, there's a reason why these are event films. Because everything's been leading to this. And is this one of the biggest films of 2018? You're damn right it is. This is big.
You can't say it ain't.
This is big. This is maybe one of the biggest movies of the entire year. And
I hardly think we're going to find something that's going to be able to go toe-to-toe with this.
I think we'll find a lot of great movies still, but, I mean, let me ask you this, and of course this is really early still as far as we just got out of the movie, but, I mean, if you had to say where this movie may rank in your sort of spectrum of I mean,
I love the first Iron Man film. I love the first Avengers. I love Black Panther. I love Doctor. It's hard to say. I mean, if you had to put it in like group type fighting films, the Avengers,
sure,
this would probably have to go slightly above the first Avengers. Not by probably about like this.
By that much, yeah.
I mean, Ultron is right now on the low bottom of the list for the tag team movies.
Yeah, it kind of is. I mean, I would say this movie, again, I would probably have to watch it another time or two to really sort of let it sink in. And I still got to sort of let everything sink in as it is. But just the reactions that I know that I have in my heart for this movie is huge. This movie delivers in spades. And, sometimes these big event movies, especially movies that have been leading up to years, sometimes not gonna
don't pull it off.
They don't deliver. Matrix Reloaded and Revolutions. Anybody?
You had to mention those.
I had to. Well, because they're kind of two-parters, so I have to mention.
The problem
it.
with that one is they were put so closely together. Maybe if they had a lot more time to work on them, they could have been a lot better.
Maybe, but
they put the time into this movie.
They put the time into it, and you can tell that. And that's where this movie succeeds, is that they knew that, look, we got to get the right people on board here. And look, this movie is directed by Joe and Anthony Russo. And they directed, obviously, Captain America Winter Soldier. They also directed Captain America Civil War. Enough said. They have been fantastic filmmakers for Marvel. Marvel has basically given them carte blanche and said, look, you guys, what you want to do, here it is. As long as you deliver for us, we're good. And guess what? They delivered.
I can tell you this, the reactions in the theater when we were watching it.
Oh, my God. It was...
Everybody was like... Oh my God!
They were
really?
They were clapping. They were in awe. They were shocked.
I heard a couple people crying. Actually,
people were crying. It was the best audience that we could see this movie with. It was absolutely fantastic to check this movie out in the theater. I would easily recommend you guys seeing it in the theater itself, because it is one hell of an experience. I
consider this a multiple view movie.
You do?
If you got the money or you got a movie pass.
If you got the money or the movie pass, just go see it regardless. Even if it's one time, it's worth it, because the movie is really that wonderful. It really honestly is. I mean, do you have any other thoughts before, we give our grade rating? Because, of course, we're doing this non-spoiler, so we're not really giving anything away, really. So.
I mean, this movie was, lack of a better word... It's hard to find a perfect movie.
Yeah.
This would have to be in there for me.
Okay.
I mean, I can't remember the last time I mentioned a perfect movie.
Well, there's been some, but...
I think Shape of Water was probably the closest
Shape of Water was probably closest for
For me, I mean, you have fantastic casting in this movie. Great scene locations.
Yeah, amazing.
Storylines, some of that get concluded, some that, keep propelling where are they going next.
Yes.
It's just like, for me, the biggest question is, what are they going to do now? What's their next step?
Yeah, I know.
They gave it their all, and it still wasn't enough.
Yeah, it still wasn't enough at all, I know.
But what probably really made this movie, other than the main part of the film, was the ending credit scene. It was like, there's might be a tiny sliver of hope coming.
Yes. Again, won't give it away, but yes, it is a big thing.
I honestly cannot think of anything negative. I mean, I have to give props to Brolin. He
knocked it out of the park. Knocked it.
Knocked it out of the park. He knocked it out of the universe.
Yes, he did. He did, absolutely.
I mean, like I said, I can't find anything wrong with this film. I have to give this a perfect A+.
Wow, perfect A+, sir. Hey, it's a great rating, and as far as I'm concerned, look, this movie, every one of the cast of whether it's Guardians or Iron Man, Captain America, Black Panther, all those people, we know those movies are great and we know that those characters can deliver. This movie was all about whether Thanos worked. And if Thanos could work and it was believable and he was a real threat, then everything else around it was going to come together really nicely, and they did it. He works. Brolin hits it out of the universe, as you said. All the actors are solid in this movie. They're amazing. The chemistry is off the charts from every one of them. And like I said, the CGI blew me away. The editing, the cinematography, the music, there is not a beat missed in this film. For me, this is an A+. And it is really a fantastic film. Definitely worth checking out. 110%. And you know what? Look, who knows? I don't think that, who knows whether next year it's going to top this. I'm hoping. But you know what? At least the bar is set. You know where the bar is. And hopefully they're going to deliver for it. And I will tell you guys this much. In about a week or so time, maybe a couple weeks,
people to watch it.
Give a chance for you guys to watch it. We're gonna come back and do a spoiler discussion, talking about all the spoilers in the film, the deaths, the post-credit scene, everything like that. We're gonna talk about that stuff. So definitely, before we do that, we definitely want you guys to watch the movie, to just get it all washed over you, and then we'll definitely do the spoiler discussion at that point. Definitely let us know what you would like for us to talk about, and we definitely will do that.
Yeah, give us some topic discussions that we can point out.
And we definitely will do it. In the meantime, I got to give you a back here. Oh, look at this.
Sorry to say, young Jewish Tony Stark, you're dead. Avengers, Guardians.
Guys, I hope you enjoyed the review. If you did, definitely give it a thumbs up. And me and the Mad Titan here will be back for another movie review.
Peace.